Today on First Cup, you all left quite a few quotes in the Facebook group, so I'll respond to those. And Frank left us some jokes because it's Fri-Yay, so stick around. We roll in 15, 17. Oh, is it nap time? I kind of wish it was nap time. Oh, all right. We got a show to do. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. Woohoo! November 19th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Good morning to Daniel and to Stacy and to Tommy and to anyone else who is watching, whether live, later, perhaps you're listening later. Thank you for joining me for our every weekday, more or less martial arts morning show. Good morning, Jenny. I hope you had a good Thursday. No, that's the wrong button. Let's try this again. There we go. We'll do that one, and then we'll do that one. If you're ever listening and you hear me say things like that, I'm usually messing with the banners on the show. Yesterday was a pretty solid day. I finished up what I was doing here, talking to you, packed the car, drove south. Oh. Good morning, Dennis. Spent some time training, doing some Superfoot training. It went well. I felt like I improved on some things, and then I drove home. It's a lot of time for some training, but it's worthwhile. It's good training. I like Terry. I like the way Terry teaches. I get better. You know, after all the time I've spent training as a martial artist, to continue to improve on something is just awesome. I love it. Not to say that things I have are perfect, but if you did this kind of training with this kind of instructor, you know that there's just almost an infinite number of things to improve on. And some people don't like that. I do. Dennis says, happy Friday, Whistlekick family. Who else is on there? He's got 2 cups, so I'm assuming second cup of coffee. Well, not me. This is my first one. What else did I do? Got home. Did some website work for a couple clients. Went to dinner with a friend. And walked in and one of the dogs had gotten hurt. Not really bad, but bad enough, and there was blood, and so they were cleaning it up, but we were all there to have dinner, and it was I felt bad. There was nothing I could do. The dog's going to be okay, but the dog was sad. And I had just met this dog. This was a significant other of a longtime friend. And dog kept coming over to me just like, and it was, dog was a hound with the long ears, so it just kind of added to the sad, and had lost a tooth and was cut up underneath and just kind of wanted to be hugged. Dog kind of just leaned into me and I just hugged him. It's like, I don't even know your name yet. And dog was like, I'm sad. It felt really bad. And then the whole time, there's a puppy and a not quite puppy just running around causing terror. I'm like, guys, go away. Leave me alone. I'm snuggling with this very sad dog. Daniel's on his 5th. Oh, man. 5th cup of coffee. Kelly's got her first sip. Tommy's is still brewing. Stacy hasn't even made it to her first cup yet. Routine. Routine is important. For me, anyway. Routine is how we get this stuff done. Tommy says, hounds, heart. I know he's got a couple. The routine thing. You know, for those of you who don't know, I get a lot done. I'm a very productive individual. And I used to think that the reason other people didn't get stuff done was because they were lazy. In my 20s, I just assumed everybody was lazy. Then I realized that I have strategies that not everyone has, most of which come from martial arts that make me more effective. And that's what led to the book. I think most of you, if not all of you, have been invited to the Facebook group, 12 Months to Hell, to help us promote the release of our new book coming next Friday. It's all about, here are 12 simple strategies that are either free or incredibly inexpensive to implement that will dramatically improve your health. And I think the paperback price on launch day is something like $4, $5. Launch day next Friday, we're launching it at the cheapest price Amazon will let us. They won't let us lose money on them. I think we're going to make like 15 cents each. But shout out to Jenny, who has done an absolutely phenomenal job in helping us put that together. I mean, she's really been the one orchestrating the project. I just kind of chime in. But if you understand the importance of routine, and you say, you know, I'd like to get healthier in 2022, this is the intersection of those two things. So check it out. Jenny says, no coffee for me today. Want to save my stomach for Thanksgiving food. I get that. Daniel's been up for 6.5 hours. 5 cups is keeping it steady. That's still, it's more than I drink. I drink a lot of coffee. I had my standard, do we want to call this a pot? My standard roughly liter of coffee yesterday. And then after training, I got an Americano. And it was really good. An iced Americano. And the barista was confused. He's like, nobody orders that. I was like, why would nobody order that? Oh yeah, because everybody if they're getting an iced drink, wants it loaded up with like sugar and flavor. And no, I just like good coffee. Just give me good coffee. And why did I get it iced when it's November? It was November 18th yesterday because it was 65 degrees. It was weird. I was walking around in sweatpants and wished I had shorts. I had sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I wore sandals, slides, and was quite comfortable. Today's not going to be quite as warm, but that's okay. All the snow is gone. I got plenty of stuff to do this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, I got a bunch of outdoor stuff I got to take care of. All my gardening things and moving. I have to transition all my orange stakes from marking the garden to marking the driveway for snow, for when I snowplow. And there's a bunch of stuff that's got to get moved around. And I've got to make some room because tomorrow I make another trip to Maine to grab more stuff from my father's house. To bring it back, to sort through it. This won't be the last trip. Yeah. Jenny says it was beautiful here too. Lilith and I went for a walk and crunched through the fallen leaves. I love that. Dennis, yesterday was phenomenal weather. Did some light yard work in a t-shirt and shorts. And Tommy agrees with me. It was weird, but a nice treat otherwise. All right, speaking of a nice treat, put more coffee in here. So today's kind of an odd day. You know, last Friday I was getting ready for free training day. And then the Friday before that, I was getting ready for Comic-Con. And today I'm not really getting ready for anything. I'm working. I'm doing all the work I didn't do earlier in the week. I'm caught up on the important, on the really important stuff. I've got a call with Frank at 9 that I'm looking forward to. And then I have a call with a client at 10. I have a call with a client at 1. I have a meeting with a client at 2:30. I'm probably going to go to the gym after that. And then in between, work. More work. Always more work. But this weekend's all about putting things back together because I've spent the last couple of weeks taking things apart. I mentioned yesterday all the piles on the floor, and things are about to get real over here with Thanksgiving and the holiday shopping season. One of the things on my list is I've got to finalize the whistlekick holiday promotional plan. if you've paid attention to what we do, we've been doing less and less holiday specific promotion because it's just, there's so much noise out there and it's really hard for us to stand out. I'd rather get you guys to buy things the rest of the year. If you identify something that you want to grab as a gift or for yourself, that's why we put the dates on the apparel. You know, this is available until this date, this date, this date, and then you can make your own plans. We've still got the newsletter, we've still got social media, but in order to reach people this time of year, you need a lot of volume and you need a lot of money to create that volume with advertising. We don't have that. So we do things differently, and that's okay. Daniel seems to, good morning, Eric. Daniel seems to be writing a poem. Yesterday was gray. In the UK, it's gray in November. It's gray in January. It's gray in May. It's gray in August. It's gray. What you're saying is it's gray. In Vermont, it's not that far off. We do have our sunny days, of course, but I think, if I remember correctly, we're like the 5th or the 7th least sunny state in the US, which makes everybody here going solar very entertaining to me, including me. I have solar panels. Not the best use of money, but I did it. Can't take it back. Daniel adds on, we don't really have weather extremes. Yeah, you catch all that current off the Atlantic, keeping things fairly consistent. All right, let's start digging in. What'd you guys give me to talk about? Stacy says, there are 3 awesome days in July. She's talking about here in Vermont. It's true. All right. Let's start off with the jokes, courtesy of Frank. Thank you, Frank. As always, the jokes for Funday Friday. November is Aviation History Month, so I thought I would tell some airplane jokes. Where does a mountain climber keep his plane? In a cliffhanger. Will invisible airplanes ever be a thing? I just can't see them taking off. I asked a flight attendant to change my seat because of a crying baby next to me. It turns out you can't do that if the baby is yours. I decided to leave work an hour early today. The flight attendant started freaking out when I grabbed my parachute, though. What did the football players say to the flight attendant? Put me in, coach. I tried to carry my board game onto the airplane, but security said I couldn't do it. The risk was too big. I threw my phone from the roof and it broke. I guess airplane mode wasn't working. And the last one. I have a really good airplane joke I want to share, but I think it might go over your head. Those were good. Those were really good. The baby one. The baby one's my favorite. Those of you watching live, I'd love to know what you are doing this weekend. Are there highlights coming up for you? Exciting things that we can all be happy for you? Stacy says, better risk than Jumanji. I agree. Yeah. While you all decide to write in about what you're doing this weekend and share, I'm going to move on. So Stacy threw in a couple quotes. I'm going to read this one first from Marcel Proust. Let us be grateful to people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. I've talked a lot about in this show about gratitude and how important gratitude is, and just recognizing that we all have things to be grateful for, even if you have to hunt, even if it's, hey, you know what, this cup of coffee tastes pretty good right now. I can be grateful for that. And it's a mindset. If you're grateful, good things happen. You identify good things, you create opportunities, people create them for you, they want to be around you. If you're cynical, if you're negative, everything sucks, I hate the world, that becomes your worldview. Nothing's good enough, nothing improves, there's no point in living, nobody wants to be around you. It's all perspective. So showing gratitude to people who do things for you that make your life better, silently, sure, but verbalizing it, hey, I appreciate you. That's a pretty good one. Stacy's going to be cleaning and resting. Eric says training and a family zoo trip. Daniel, I'm going daytime drinking, loads of really good beer with good friends, taking the day off work, and just going and forgetting everything that's going on and having some fun for a while. Good. I'm glad you're doing that. Stacy said, thanks for always being a gardener. I appreciate it. Doing my best. Dennis says, this weekend, low key, just some training and a little TV. Tommy, seminar on trapping on Saturday with Coach J.M. Berger. I don't know who that is, but enjoy. Coffee. Okay, mixed. Frank's got some quotes in here. You know what? I'm gonna do this other one Stacy put first. Think like a person of action. Act like a person of thought. Henry Bergson. Think like a person of action. Act like a person of thought. I think that's a wonderful way to slice what we do and how we do it. Most people could probably stand to think more about how they're going to act, or to be more confident in creating action around all of their thought. Do you know somebody like this who's one or the other, or maybe it's you? I'm thinking of someone in particular, someone I grew up with, who never acted on their thoughts, always had thoughts, even today, even all of these years later. Always has a plan. There's always something better. And then it's time to act. And they don't act. There's always a reason to not act. There's always more thought that goes into their lack of action. This is someone who had a lot of potential. Someone who had an opportunity to break free of what they grew up with. They couldn't quite do it. And I think of them, and I see what's going on with this person. It makes me sad, because they could have been, still could be, so much more. No, I'm not talking about me. Jenny's planning for Thanksgiving, cooking and baking, training with my son, and prepping for a book launch. What book? Oh yeah, 12 Months to Health. Jenny, can you drop a link to the group in here for people, for at least for the Facebook people who are watching? I would appreciate that. So people can come and join the group and get the book and see why they should get the book and support all of our efforts. This is the first book that we're doing that I would call mass market. It's not a martial arts book, but it's a good book. It's solid. We've had multiple doctors write forwards for it. They're like, yeah, this is pretty sweet. I like this. I need to give this to my patients. Yeah. Daniel dropped a link to the group. Thank you. Says he's really looking forward to it. Tommy says wasted potential is hard to watch. Sometimes it really is. If you've been a martial arts instructor, you've seen wasted potential at some point. Somebody comes in, they start training, they do well, and then 3 to 6 months later, they're gone. And it's usually someone who needs the training. It's the people who need it the most that don't stick around. And Jenny dropped it too. There you go. You got 2 links. So if you're watching later, if you're listening later, just go to Facebook. 12 Months to Health. All right. Next. So Frank's got some quotes here for us. Tomorrow, Saturday, Rickson Gracie turns 63. And we've got some Rickson Gracie quotes. If you do not speak up when it matters, when would it matter that you speak? The opposite of courage is conformity. Even a dead fish can go with the flow. Wow, coming out strong. this reminds me, let me pull it up. I want to get it right. All right. There's a quote, and I don't know when I originally found this. Most of you know I was raised Jewish, bar mitzvah, still identify as Jewish, but my relationship to faith and religion is a little more complex than just that simple label. But being raised Jewish, oh, come on. Here it is. At some point somewhere, I became aware of a quote from a man, a pastor, Martin Niemöller. And it reminds me of this quote from Rickson Gracie, reminds me of this. And this one is a little more powerful, at least for me. So I'm going to read it because it's my show. First, they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. We don't all have, I wouldn't call it a responsibility to take care of other people. Some might say as martial artists we do. I leave that to you. But we do, as members of society, have the opportunity to watch what's happening and take action. And I'll leave it there and let you interpret how you want. And welcome, J.M. Berger. Daniel says that quote is around a lot in the UK at the moment. Strange times we live in. I think they've always been strange times. I just think we're now being more open about them. I think social media has made it harder to hide how people think and act. Next, a strong body is a good asset. A strong mind is a very good asset. You can always make your body stronger. You can always make your body stronger. Developing your mind, you can always do that too. But how do you make a strong body without a strong mind? Strong mind is disciplined, is thoughtful, is dedicated, is resourceful. If you have all those qualities, you can do anything. If you don't, you can't do much at all. Show me someone who is successful in any way. You could say they have a strong mind. And yet, we don't do a very good job of strengthening our mind, of encouraging others to strengthen their mind. In fact, I would say most of us in society do a poor job of encouraging people to do anything positive. And I'm not going to provide examples. I'll let you feel that one out for yourself. I think as martial artists, we recognize that on some level, our responsibility to our fellow students, our instructor, our students, whatever the relationship is to help them get better. You don't help them get better by letting them off the hook. Here's a place you can improve. Here's a place you can improve. Oh, you improved that? Here's another place you can improve. Here's another place you can improve. There's always a way to improve. Can I get the flag? Oh, thought I got it. Didn't get it. Tommy says, bad things happen when good people stay silent. Yes. Stacy says, thinking of the Taekwondo oath, I shall be a champion of freedom and justice. I will build a more peaceful world. Yes. Dennis says, Stacy, until my dying breath, I will maintain that the world would be a better place if everyone trained in martial arts, even just for a short while. Could be the mantra here at Whistlekick. KaeLeigh's leaving soon to pick up her daughter from college and have an all-day promotional testing tomorrow. It's going to be a great weekend. That does sound like a pretty great weekend. Good luck to all testing. Tommy says, I'm glad all of you were born. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. One more quote, and then we'll fade away for the weekend. Jiu-jitsu puts you completely in the moment, where you must have a complete focus on finding a solution to the problem. This trains the mind to build that focus, to increase your awareness, your capacity to solve problems. Now, of course, I think we can swap out jiu-jitsu for just about any martial art if we focus on free-form movement with at least a little bit of intensity. If you've been training a while, you've probably had moments where you've been sparring with someone, maybe a lower rank, someone with less experience. You didn't feel like you had to be really dialed in, and your mind wanders. And then they punch you in the face, and you're like, oh, I should pay attention. That's happened to me. When we talk about martial arts as moving meditation, this is a great illustration of that. It's really hard to multitask when you feel at least mildly threatened with even a little bit of violence, a little bit of pain, because we want to avoid that. No, everybody's being thankful for each other. Gratitude. Hey, I like it. We talked about gratitude, didn't we? Ha! Not that long ago, like 10 minutes. Okay. I hope you have a great day, great weekend. Oh, can you hear the plane? There's a plane coming in. Actually, I'm guessing that one's leaving, given that it's 7. Yes, it's Vermont. I have a slight idea of the airport schedule. That's how we do it. Okay. I hope whatever you do is good. I hope it's enjoyable. I hope you are grateful for it, and I hope that you are present. Some of the common threads today: gratitude, but also discipline. Like anything else, being grateful requires discipline. To see the world from a grateful perspective, from a thankful perspective, an appreciative perspective, takes practice. For a lot of us, myself included, when something negative happens, or when something happens, quite often we look, what's the negative here? Now, here's the best example I can give you, because quite a few of you were there. A month ago, 3 weeks ahead, free training day had to change venue. We had planned for 6 months to be in a certain location. All of our advertising, all of our flyers, every bit of messaging we had sent out had been around, hey, we're going to be here. And then the school said, oh yeah, you can't be there. You have to go anywhere else. I was heartbroken. I was terrified. And then we found a new location. And if you were there for 2019 and 2021, you know that it was probably the happiest accident that could have happened. Everything about this year's event was better, because Andrew and I chose to look at it as a positive. How do we take this negative and flip it? How do we find the best things about it? Oh, we have opportunities we didn't have before. Let's lean into those. The same thing happens. Same thing happens with everything. If you train yourself, if you remain disciplined to find the positive, to stay upbeat about a situation, most of the time it's going to ultimately be a good thing. It's all in how you look at it. So I hope you look at your day in a good way, your weekend the same. I hope you leave me some stuff to talk about on Monday in the Facebook group. Join the 12 Months to Health Facebook group, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care, everybody.